Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we're going to do the detailed camera review of the Oppo F7. So similar to the Oppo F5, the F7 is also a selfie focused smartphone with a 25 megapixel selfie camera, and it also has a 16 megapixel rear camera. So in this video we'll analyze the selfie camera samples and also the rear camera samples taken from the Oppo F7, and Oppo claims that the cameras, both the rear and the front cameras, have been improved when compared to the previous version of Oppo F5. So let's see how far the improvement is and also see how good the Oppo F7 competes with the segment and how good the camera quality is for this price segment. So without any further delay, let's get started. So first up, let's have a look at the camera aspects. So the rear camera on the Oppo F7 comes with a 16 megapixel shooter with f-stop 1.8 aperture, LED flash, and it has AI enabled features. And when coming to the front camera, the Oppo F7 comes with a 25 megapixel shooter. That's the Sony's IMX576 sensor, and Oppo claims that the first smartphone with this new sensor, and it again has AI capabilities, and both the rear and front cameras are able to capture a portrait mode or the bokeh shots. So now let's see the camera interface to see how good the camera interface is and what all features it offers. So opening up the camera interface, you can see the typical features offered. At the bottom you can see time lapse, video, photo. It also comes with some stickers included. Then there is expert mode for changing the ISO, white balance, exposure, shutter speed, etc. So these are the options available, and there is also time lapse option included. Now the video recording, you can see it is maximum is at 1080p resolution. There is no 4K resolution support, and on the top panel you can see there is an option for HDR. This is the option to take portrait shots, and this is a useful feature, super vivid mode on. If you want the images to be vivid, you can turn on this mode, and there is also timer shot, and you can also have standard square or full screen view. So these are the options included. The phone also comes with AI algorithm. That means it can detect the object. There are different scene modes available, and it can detect the object based on, say for example, if you're shooting flowers or images of cats or dogs, it can automatically identify the subject and make the images better based on the subject. So that's the AI algorithm available, and this is also available for the selfie camera as well. So that's the camera interface of the Oppo F7. Now let's have a look at the camera samples taken with this device. So first up, let's have a look at the daylight shots. So these are the daylight captures taken with the Oppo F7. So you can see that there is good amount of details in the daylight captures, and the colors are pretty much okay and closer to natural colors. But one thing what we notice is sometimes the software processing is a bit aggressive, and at times you can see the images look a bit over sharpened, but that doesn't appear all the time. But most of the shots do look really good, and for a phone price in this price segment, that's 25k below price segment, this is quite good performance from the Oppo F7. So Oppo has done the basics right. So with the rear camera, previously with most of the Oppo devices, the rear camera was not that great. Only the front camera was more of a focus object. But here with the f-stop 1.8 aperture and the 16 megapixel shooter, Oppo has done quite a good work in terms of the rear camera, and the details are pretty good, and the overall clarity of the images also looks pretty good. So these are the daylight captures taken with the Oppo S7. Now coming to the close-up images, here again the details are pretty good. The sharpness levels is also impressive, and colors are pretty much natural or closer to natural colors, unlike the Vivo V9 where the colors are a bit bumped up and looks a bit saturated. The Oppo F7 doesn't do that, and it's more or less like natural colors. So that's the Oppo F7 close-up images. Now Oppo F7 also comes with a portrait mode for the rear camera. You can enable the portrait mode from the settings, and here again it does a decent job altogether, and the edge detection is quite good on the Oppo F7, and portrait samples are mostly kind of okay, but here and there we did feel that it's not as good as what we have seen on the Xiaomi's Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now next up, let's have a look at the low light captures. So this is one of the strengths of the Oppo F7 with f-stop 1.8 aperture. The low light captures looks really good. The amount of light entering the photos is really good, and the noise levels are contained. That means there is lesser noise in the low light captures, and it did a really good job with the f-stop 1.8. So if you're taking more of low light pictures, the Oppo F7 is probably one of the best in this price segment. So that's the low light captures taken with the Oppo F7. Now coming to the video recording. this is one area where Oppo hasn't worked much, because you can clearly see that the software processing is a bit too aggressive, and as a result the video looks pretty much average, and doesn't live up to the expectation of a 25k or a sub 25k smartphone. And you can also see that there is no optical image stabilization or electronic image stabilization offered, and there is also no 4K recording supported on this device. So the video recording is average at its best, and we would say it's kind of disappointing with oversharpened video. Now next up, let's have a look at the selfie camera. So selfies have been a strength of Oppo, and the Oppo F7 is also a great selfie shooter, and it does a pretty good job overall. The selfies have good details, good color reproduction, the face detection is also pretty good, and also the dynamic range and overall clarity of the selfies looks pretty good. So definitely if you are focusing on selfies, Oppo F7 definitely will not disappoint you with and it has a great selfie photos. And now looking at the portrait photos taken with the Oppo F7, here again it did a good job. The edge detection was more or less accurate. Here and there we did feel slight issues with edge detection, but not a major concern though. Only when you zoom in the photos you can see that here and there is some issues, but overall we feel the edge detection was quite good. Now the low light selfies also turned out to be quite good on the Oppo F7. So this is the front facing camera sample taken using the Oppo F7. So this has a 25 megapixel shooter with Sony IMX576 sensor, and this is again a really good selfie centric smartphone, and it can record videos in 1080p resolution. So this is the front facing full HD sample taken with the Oppo F7, and you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is, and also the audio output from the video. So now summing up, how good is the Oppo F7 for this price segment? So Oppo has done a quite good job with the rear camera. It is the f-stop 1.8 aperture. It does produce some really good results. Here and there at times the software processing is a bit aggressive. Other than that, the low light captures also looked pretty good. The video was kind of average, and the selfies turned out to be pretty good. So overall, if you're looking for a camera smartphone for photography needs, the Oppo F7 will not disappoint you. And but if you're looking for a video recording, the Oppo F7 is not recommended, because the video looks pretty much average, and lack of any stabilization or 4K support is kind of a disappointing aspect for a sub 25k priced phone. So that was a detailed camera review of the Oppo F7. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit the like button and also hit the red subscribe button for more videos, and we'll be coming up with the detailed camera comparison of the Oppo F7 with the Xiaomi's Redmi Note 5 Pro and the Vivo V9. So stay tuned for those videos. So this is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.